Straight Talk with your host Reggie B. Come on, let's all join in. Free your voice, it's your choice, alright here. Oh, Simply Straight Talk.
Hello to every one of our Simply Straight Talk listeners. Are you ready to free your mind and free your voice? Well, you're listening to the right podcast. So let's get this real talk started with your host, Reggie Maddox.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Simply Straight Talk Show. Once again, we're back with the great, beautiful, and talented Angelique.
What's up? It's me.
All right, y'all. Today, we're going to talk about music and movies. We're going to talk about some of our favorite movies, some of our favorite actors, movies that we think should have been a hit, those that were flops, what we like, don't like. Then we're going to get into music. And music has always been a hot topic for discussion regarding which generation created the best music.
Not this one.
No, definitely not. And you guys know, over the recent years, more people are beginning to express their views regarding modern music is not being able to live up to the standard set by their predecessors. And the feeling is mutual. I'm talking about from hip-hop to R&B, soul, country, and pop music. So today, we're going to share some of our favorite artists and share our thoughts on whether or not music today has fallen off, or has music just progressed to where we just don't understand it and the audience needs to catch up. We will also review new song releases from Josephine Okojini, and her song is called Mystic. And then we also have the second song is by Revelation called Let's Pretend.
Revelation.
Revelation.
Gotta add that sauce on it.
I do kind of like that,
for the
though.
nation. Yes, revelation.
Kind of a nice little touch. Mm-hmm. So we'll start off with movies.
Ooh, movies. God. Movies to me is my happy place, as Reggie knows. It's my happy space, and being in London with no cinemas open or theatres, as you call them, it's made me really sad. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm like, what do you mean I can't go watch a movie? Oh. So Netflix and Amazon Prime have been my best friend, and I love a good movie. They're just my happy space. I love them. What about you? Are you a movie guy?
I am. I love going to the movies, and I hate the fact that it's like you said. Like now there's only one theater open, and then it's very difficult to actually get in because of the way the seating is set up and everything, and it's just not really the same. And they're not showing all the new movies, so you may get one new movie. So you got to be hopefully lucky that you get the movie you want in your area. Watching it on TV is just not the same.
It's not, especially unless you're one of them, blessed individuals who have, some 60-inch screen 4K high definition with, ultra surround sound and audio treated walls, soundproof walls and cinema seats. That's different. For you, it's like, well, I can watch at home. But for the rest of us regular folk, it's not the same watching it on our little TVs. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't have the same impact. And also, there's just something about sitting in the cinemas and watching a movie. Do you know what I mean? And soaking up the vibe and the atmosphere. It's all part of the package, which I love. So I'm not going to lie. The moment the cinemas are back open, I will be the first in the queue. I don't care what I'll be watching. I'm like, is it a movie? I'll watch it.
But the price they're charging too now, because I think we talked about that. Like how much they're charging for you to watch a movie at home.
I know, yeah, over here, so they're charging the same price as it would be to go see it in the cinema. So for us, it's £16. So for you guys, that's about $18 to watch it in my own home. And like I said, I don't have the whole movie surround sound system set up. So quite frankly, I'm paying £16 to be disappointed by the audio and the, image quality because I don't have that set up. It's a bit of a piss take.
I don't know, and I think that's sort of a ripoff. I mean, I get it; they're trying to recoup their money and all that, but
yeah,
I don't
They were
understand
keeping the
that.
money. Like, people are happy to pay that price. All right, maybe not everyone is happy to pay the prices at cinema, but generally most people are happy to pay it because of what you're getting for your money. It's not just the movie, it's the cinema experience, it's the surround sound, it's the massive screen, it's all the food and all the atmosphere. You're paying for that. So
Yeah.
you're happy to pay that. But when I'm paying it in my house and all I've got is my regular snacks from my local grocery store in my couch, you know what I mean? I'm just like, yo, where's the value for money here?
Yeah, at least have somebody come to my house and start cooking
Yeah.
or something.
You know what I mean? But maybe, do you know what I mean? Someone delivers some popcorn or some, like, a hot dog or some shit to me. I don't know. But, like, you got to give me something more than, oh, here's the film. You can stream it in your house. Great. Thanks. Not quite. It's like, you know, recently I watched, like I told Reggie, I watched the most recent Wonder Woman 1984 release.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah. As I've said to Reggie, I love Gal Gadot, who's been cast as the Wonder Woman, but her storylines just seem to let her down. They always seem to be a letdown, and it breaks my blooming heart. But yeah, that was a bit of a letdown, and maybe I might have enjoyed it a little bit more if I watched it at the cinema with all the surround sound and big screen, but overall that storyline just flopped. Didn't make no damn sense.
No, and you know the critics are destroying the movie. They are tearing it apart.
Part of me feels because it's a female director, you know, and a badass female lead, but the story was just meh.
Yeah, and now I'm sort of on the fence on this because they're saying, not Gal Gadot, Patty Jenkins was given full control over the movie.
Okay.
So she was getting full control over writing the script. It was her script.
Right.
And when I first heard that, I was like, great. She's not going to follow that generic thing. She's going to keep Wonder Woman being Wonder Woman. Mm-hmm. And that's what I loved about the first movie. It was about Wonder Woman, not no political agendas, no movements or nothing. And when I heard that she had full control over the script, I'm like, why would she did she just go through a breakup? Was she...
Yeah, it was very love story. It was more of like a superhero love story, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I was just like, come on, Patty Jenkins. You had to know that wasn't going to work for a superhero. Superhero characters are already tough to do because people who read the comic books have this one mindset about them.
Yes,
people who watch the cartoons. So you can't just totally go out there and create a soap opera. You know?
Yeah, that's what she did do, wasn't it? It was a little bit like, what's going on here? When's the superheroing going to start superheroing? You know what I mean? Like, when's that going to kick in?
Yeah, because I didn't think somebody said that she wasn't in her Wonder Woman costume for like an hour and a half of the movie.
Oh, Jesus, that's so right. I mean, she was rocking some badass 80s outfits, though. I was like, Diana, you look good, girl. But, yeah, I was like, I want that outfit. But, yeah, no, oh, my God. As you say that, you're so right. She really wasn't.
No.
Oh, God, I didn't even clock that. Jesus. That's how much it wasn't a superhero movie, though. It really didn't feel like a superhero movie at all. It felt like some love story. And a love story I didn't understand because... Why are you pining over some man you knew for all of a week of your life? I don't many decades ago. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's because she's just come off the island and she doesn't know anything about men and this is the first man she's fallen for. But seriously, you're telling me in like, what, 60-something years, you couldn't find another guy? No one else touched on Steve Rogers? Mr. I've known him for a week? No? Okay. All right, then. Like, how much did you really know this brother? Like, to be that pining for him that long? Let's be real.
Yeah, and it was just, and I've always been a Wonder Woman fan, always been, and just to see her character fall back into this, you know, sort of, I don't know, I can't even describe her. It just wasn't Wonder Woman.
It didn't feel like it, and the fight scenes at the end just felt a bit rushed. That golden armor, that beautiful golden winged armor, didn't understand the point of it because she wore it for all of 2 seconds. And you know what I mean? And then, like, when you explain the backstory about her enemies in this film, the nemesis, like the Cheetah Girl. First of all, they didn't even name her Cheetah Girl. Was it Cheetah Woman or Cheetah Girl?
Cheetah Girl.
Yeah, they never called her that in the film, so I didn't even know that's who she was meant to be portraying. And I'm someone who's not read the comic books or knows much about the Wonder Woman history, so to me, she was just a chick who was like, oh, I want to be popular, and then she turned into a cat. It's like, okay, no. turns out she actually has a more epic backstory in the comic books, but they never showed that. And I was like, and how does she get to being from I want to be popular, I want to be like Diana, to I want to be a big cat? How did she equate that to popularity? What? Like, it made no sense. Like, I just want to be all powerful. Turn me into a big cat. It was like, okay, all right, cool. How did we get there from there?
I know, and I told you, Cheetah Girl is a badass villain. That's why I was so mad at the way they did her character.
They did her dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, now if you try to pit her against Wonder Woman, people are going to be like, no. It's like, what's the guy who played the Joker in the...
Oh, Heath Ledger, Dark Knight.
No, he was a good Joker. The last one with the...
Oh, Jared Leto?
Was it? No. He had his own... Was it Jaquin?
Oh, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the thing about when Warner Brothers be destroying some movies. When when he played that movie, everybody was saying that because he wanted to come back and actually be the Joker against Batman. But everybody was saying the Joker you played could never go against Batman because they downplayed his intelligence so much. And no offense to people with mental illness, but he could never match the wits of Batman. Whereas Heath Ledger's Joker, I mean, Heath Ledger killed that role.
Yeah, and you're right. Like, I loved the Joker with Joaquin Phoenix because it gave me a backstory as to maybe how he ended up how he is, but it didn't give me a vibe of and then he becomes this super villain. Like, that's not what I saw. I saw a guy who snapped from maybe being abused and suffering from mental illness and eventually just losing his plot, do you know what I mean? And snapping. And, like, you know, when he shoots Robert De Niro at the end of the movie and then, like, the riots kick out. That's all I saw. I didn't see a super villain in the making. Not the way that I saw Heath Ledger play the Joker. Like, that was an actual super villain who was like, well, this dude is twisted.
Yeah.
I'm not messing with this guy. Whereas... you know, Joaquin Phoenix's one, as much as it was a great origin story, I actually enjoyed showing how, over time, all the abuse, all the kind of negligence, all the kind of things that he dealt with led to him exploding out into this thing. But no, him battling against Batman, that's not going to last.
No. No, he just didn't have the wits to... I mean, because Batman is supposed to be this highly intelligent, always 2 steps ahead of you.
Yeah.
And that Joker was like, I'm about 5 steps behind, but, you know.
Yeah. He looks like he might get distracted by, like, you know... like, he would just get distracted in the middle of a fight or something, or start crying and breaking down. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. As much as he displayed random violent tendencies near the end, it more felt like it was just an outburst, like a breakdown. Like, he had a breakdown, and then it resulted in him, you know... shooting everybody and whatever, but it didn't feel like he didn't seem violent by nature. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Whereas Heath Ledger's character was like, no, this dude is violent. Like, he gonna cut you and laugh while he's doing it. Like, he's gonna, that classic line that Heath Ledger delivers, why so serious? Like, you felt freaked out the first time he asked that. You were like, no, he's gonna cut him. Oh God, he's gonna cut him when he was telling the story. No.
See, because I could watch Batman with the movie with him in it just for his character.
Yeah. He kicks ass in that film. Like, he does. Honestly, from the opening scene when you see him rob the bank, it lets you know, this is not a guy that's all right. Like, he's not okay. Like, he is twisted, truly. It was a good film, but yeah, Wonder Woman, unfortunately, and as a female, it makes me sad because, like I said, I really like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. I really love her. I think it was a great casting, but I just feel like every time the story lets her down, and this story just felt so anticlimactic. It didn't feel like a superhero movie, and it's such a shame because I love her. She's like my screensaver on my iMac, on my phone, everything. I love her, but yeah, the story was just a bit okay, all right. Feels more like a romantic comedy with a random superhero element. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because people were saying that, well, it made 43 million nationwide.
Okay.
And people saying, well, that's good. But for if you don't know how movies work, for a movie to make 143 million, but it costs 150 million to make.
Yeah, that's a loss.
It's a loss. And they consider the movie to be a flop. because you still got to count in the cost of the actors. You got to count in the cost, and they advertised this movie big.
Yeah, they did.
So I'm worried that...
And that costs money in itself, advertising.
Oh, my God. That's expensive. You know,
But
so...
the hard thing to say is if the loss is down to the fact that the film wasn't great, or because unfortunately it got released during COVID times, and how much is the average person really going to spend on paying for $15.99 to watch a movie at home? And that's the problem. Like the stats, because the film got released now, the stats aren't really fair. Like we don't know what it would have made if it was released at cinema. Mm-hmm. We'll never know that. I mean, as much as I know that I didn't particularly like the story, I feel like it would have made much more money if it was at the cinema, because of all the advertising hype that they've drummed into it. People would have flocked to see it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, afterwards people would have cussed, but they still would have flocked to see it.
Yeah, just based off the last. I mean, I love the last Wonder Woman. The third act with her fighting the villain was kind of like,
whack.
Yeah. I like, really?
It was whack.
I was hoping they'd go back and get the young guy who was the actual, what do you call him, the God of War.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. That's what I thought he was going to be. He was like, no, it's just this guy. Okay, cool.
This 80-year-old looking guy? Okay.
Yeah, British gentleman who looks like he sips cups of tea. Do you know what I mean? But apparently he's the God of War. Okay, I'm buying that. Yeah. Just like, what? Yeah, they just don't seem to know how to deliver like a good ending or a good full story for her character, man. It's really confusing, and it's such a shame because I think she plays Wonder Woman really well. She, you know what I mean? But yeah, let's leave Wonder Woman over there. All right, tell me, what are your kind of top sort of movies? What are your top sort of 3 or 5 movies? What would you say? This is a hard one though, isn't it?
Yeah, like which movies are my top 3?
Oh, there's so many.
For recent...
all right, let's just say, what are some of your favorite movies then?
Okay, yeah, that's much easier.
Yeah.
John Wick.
Which one? There's 3.
You know what? Darn. I'm probably going to go with the third one simply because I felt Halle Berry was such I really didn't think she was going to fare well in this movie, but she kicked ass.
She kicked some whole bunch of ass. Her and her dogs.
Yes. I mean, I would say John Wick was definitely one. You know, a movie that I don't think a lot of people saw, because like I said, I love going to the movies, and I said, let me go see this movie. But it was a movie called Wind River, and it was with the guy who plays Hawkeye.
Oh, no, I definitely didn't watch that, no.
Well, the guy who plays Hawkeye from The Avengers.
Oh, yeah, what's his name again? I know his name.
Is it Ethan?
No, I know that much.
Oh, my God. People are going to kill it. You're talking about movies you don't even know
Jeremy
names?
Renner.
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner. Because we just know them as their characters' names, that's why. Yeah, Hawkeye. It's like, no, that's his actual real name, though.
Y'all know who Hawkeye is. Yeah, but Jeremy Renner was in this movie, and I'm telling you, it was probably one of the best movies I saw. And I'm like, why didn't they promote this? Why didn't they? It was basically about he was
indie movie. Was it like an indie movie type thing? A small movie?
It might have been, but they had top name actors in it. His daughter passed away. Him and his wife got divorced, and they was on this Indian reservations where he worked, and he was actually like helping to kill coyotes and stuff like that from attacking people and livestock. And it was about this girl who got raped, and they was trying to solve this mystery, and the FBI had to come in, and I mean, it was a really good movie because you wouldn't know the ending. The ending was a total shock.
I'm just Googling it now as you're talking. So the joy of like recording from my home is I can just access. Oh, and he's co-starring with one of his other Avengers ladies, the Red Witch. What's her name? Something Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah,
she's in that as well. Yeah, I can see. I might have to give that a watch. Okay, so there's that one.
It's a good movie. Good movie.
So Wind River, John Wick 3. What else? Give me another one.
Let's see. Recent or all time?
Whatever. Just give us one of your favorites.
So my next one. Let's see. The 5 Heartbeats.
Oh, okay. What's that one?
The 5 Heartbeats is about Robert Townsend made that movie, and it was about this musical group, like back in the 50s, 60s. Because if you hear this classic line where this character named Big Red hangs this guy from a balcony and he says, "My hours are," and the guy's crying. He's like, "My office hours are," and it was like always a big meme, 9 to 5. You know. And who was another popular character? Oh, Eddie Kane Jr. That was a popular movie. The singing, the storyline. You watch 5 guys who sort of grew up together, get into the music industry. They had one man. Diane Carroll plays in that movie.
Okay. I'm looking at it now. As you're talking, I'm literally like Googling images and information about the 5 Heartbeats and everything.
Yeah, the music track is probably one of the best. It's a great music track. If you like the music like from the 60s and 70s, that's where the music track is going to come from. People like Patti LaBelle, After Seven Sings. But it's a good movie. It is a good movie. It will have, men, it's one of the few movies you can actually cry. If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to tell you why, but it's one of the few movies where you can actually shed a tear.
There's plenty of movies that men can cry at. You're telling me you didn't cry at John Q? Denzel Washington in John Q? Seriously, that didn't bring a tear to your eye?
No, I felt for him because of what he was going through with his son, but it didn't bring a tear.
Ugh, you're heartless, man. You're heartless. Stone Cold Killer. How can you not cry in John Q? What other movie always makes me cry? Oh God, John Q definitely makes me cry. The Green Mile guy, he always makes me cry a little bit. That end of that film, like, oh, that's a little bit sad. Yeah, John Q makes me cry. Those are some good movies. Okay, all right. So now you got me thinking now what mine are.
Yes,
okay. It's definitely going to include a Denzel film because I love me some Denzel. The one that I've watched quite often and always seems to kind of hit me every time I see it is Remember the Titans.
That was a good one.
That was a good one. I did like that one. What else? It has to be the Lord of the Rings movies. I'm just going to say all 3.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into elves, goblins, and assassins, people. Anything mystical or fantasy based, I'm there. So I remember watching all 3 of those movies with my brother. It became a tradition where we watched the first one, we were blown away by it, and then when they released the next one, we went together and we watched the third one. They're long films though. Jesus.
Yes.
When we watched the third one, it went on for so long that eventually there was like it never seemed to end until like the screen would go dark, and I remember everyone in the cinema was like, "Oh, that was nice." I got up, and then the screen would come back on again, like, "Oh no, it's not finished." Okay, there was a couple of times they did that in the third one, where you thought it was ending, but it wasn't. Like people kept getting up and down. Do you know what I mean? Like they were saying "Amen" in a church. I don't know what was happening, but I loved Lord of the Rings. What else? Oh, there's so many, isn't there?
Yes.
Oh, Goodfellas. I love Goodfellas.
Oh, yeah.
Goodfellas is a classic movie as well. I love Goodfellas. Because they're just the scene, like when Joe Pesci with his character. No, what's funny? No, tell me, what's funny? No, I want to hear the joke. What's funny? And that poor bumbling waiter's like, and then he shoots him in the foot. It's like, that's not how I saw that scene going. Like, why would you shoot the poor waiter in the foot? He was crazy. Joe Pesci, like in his role in that film, kills it.
Yeah, he does.
He does. And maybe one more. I do love the Dreamgirls. You know what I mean? It's the Dreamgirls movie with Jennifer Hudson, Jamie Foxx, Beyonce. I do love that one. It's got some good songs in there, good performances.
I have not seen that movie.
Get out of here!
I haven't, because Eddie Murphy was in there, right?
There's loads of people in it. Eddie Murphy, Donald Glover, Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Hudson, Beyonce, Nika Noni Rose. There's tons of people in that movie, man. And it's a great musical, and they all perform really well. And the singing is just crazy. And yeah, I even like Beyonce in it. I'm not a big fan of singers turning into actors, but she does well in that because basically she's playing herself. She's playing an artist. Do you know what I mean? So
yes.
It's not, in terms of an acting stretch, it's not too hard. But yeah, it's good. It's a good movie. You've got to watch it. You will be singing along Especially because, like you said, it's from the 60s and 70s, so it's got that era of music where you'll be just sort of like, shoo up, singing along sort of thing. It's a good movie.
Yeah, I forgot. I need to watch that. I'm going to have to watch that.
No, do. It's a good musical, especially like at the end of the film. It's hard to say goodbye, my love. Oh, I love it. I'm just like singing along, like waving my hands along to them as they're like clearing at the crowd. I love that song. Some of the songs do have you singing along. It's a good movie to watch. What would you say is your favorite genre of movies?
I like action. Either action comedy or action romance.
Action romance? Name an action romance film.
Let's see. What would be a good one?
Action romance.
Oh, what's the name of it?
I've never heard of that genre before. You're going to have to give me a film so I understand what you mean by that.
See, now I got sci-fi going through my head because I love sci-fi too. Let's see.
Which one?
You know the one that it's kind of like what's the one with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie?
Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, like that. Okay, yeah. Because they always have a slight comedic element to them. Those ones.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like full slapstick, but there are. It's a slight comedic sort of vibe to it. It's a bit more levity to it. It's not so serious. Mm-hmm. But then they'll bust out in like a whole bunch of blow 'em up gun scenes. So yeah, I think for me, my genre is I like fantasy movies. I love a good action. I love a good comic book superhero movie. I can't lie. What else? I love a good comedy. And I'm a girl. I do like the odd romantic comedy as well, like rom-com. But I only watch those generally by myself because I feel bad to put any man through that. Because the plot lines are always the same. You know, those movies are not made for men. They're made for women because it's all ridiculous. Like the level of romance and the things that the men do. Real life men don't do these things, and you know it's a setup. Like it's not like any woman who watches that. Please watch it with a big pinch of salt. That's not real life, okay? But it's good for a woman to go on a fantasy run. You know when it's that special time of the month and you're stuffing your face with ice cream. And you're dreaming about your dream man. Like, I wish someone would run me down at the airport after we've had an argument, declaring his love for me in the front of loads of people. Why would my man do that for me? Because it's not real.
Because they do always do that. That is, you're right.
Every time.
Every
They have a massive
time.
argument, and then the characters will turn up at the last minute when they're about to leave, or you know, they turn up at their office job and do some sort of song or performance, and declaring, "It's always been you. It's only you." Some only you type speech at the end. It's like, oh my god. Like, yeah, those films. I don't put men through it. I really don't. Like, it's that's cruel and unusual punishment to make a poor man watch that.
Oh my god! I think Pretty Woman was like that.
Oh, well, do you know what? Again, you better be careful because any female listeners may turn up at your house and lynch you. Do you know what I mean? Like, Pretty Woman is a female favourite. Pretty Woman, Dirty Dancing. You're not allowed to say bad things about them as a man, Reggie. You're just not allowed, okay? That film wasn't made for you. Stop talking.
Oh, my God. He can play the piano. He drives down the street in a limo with flowers in his hand. Oh, my God. Here we go.
What, you don't do that, Reggie, on a Tuesday afternoon? What, you don't do that for the lady you love? That's not your regular Tuesday? No. You're slipping, man. You're slipping. This is what these films will have you all kinds of effed up because, like, women will watch these films, turn to their man as he's there on the couch in his tracksuit bottoms and go, "Look at you, you bum. Why are you out here in a limo with roses for me? God, I've settled. Look what I've got lumped with." It's like, no, this is movies, ladies. It's not real life.
It is not real.
It's not real. Please don't base relationships and romance on any of them films because it's ridiculous. Fully.
Oh. Yeah, if I'm with somebody, I would watch it if I knew she liked it. But I might.
That's sweet. But
I would watch
the whole
it
time
with
you're going to be sleeping with your eyes open, though, aren't you? Or you'll be rolling your eyes secretly inside your head.
I probably would. At some points, yeah. Because some of the stuff they do is just like...
corny as hell?
Yeah. It's like you said, like, she'll be going to leave, she'll get on the airplane, and he magically bought a ticket at the last minute, a seat behind her, or in the seat next to her on a crowded airplane. He had the one last ticket that was right there next to her.
Well, that couldn't happen in real life. In COVID times, he'd have to get tested and swabbed first, and then he'd have to self-isolate for 10 days. So none of that would be happening. The new movies may have to include the whole self-isolation. Do you know what I mean? Maybe he's sending her notes through her letterbox because she's self-isolating. Couldn't actually turn up and declare, his love for her because they have to keep 2 meters apart.
Oh yeah, I'll be rolling my eyes on the inside a little bit on those.
Yeah, like I said, those films are predominantly made for women, and they feed our inner teenage girl fantasy, because it doesn't matter how old you get, doesn't matter how cynical or bitter you are as a woman, there is still a small inner teenage girl who loves love and wants to be loved and wants to be swept off her feet like a princess. All of us. I don't care what anybody says. Every woman has that small element of them in there, still in there. It never leaves you.
What's the movie that everybody watches? Twilight, the vampire, where the girl wants to be a vampire.
Yeah, God, that movie made me want to shoot myself and then shoot the filmmaker. Actually, wrong order. I wanted to shoot the film and everybody in it, and then myself for watching it. I was recommended that movie, and me and my partner enjoyed the first and second one because it was. Yeah, there was the romantic part, but there was werewolves and vampires, so that was right up my street. And then it became nauseatingly poke my eyes out, nails, you know what I mean, sticking straws under my nails, painful.
Yeah.
It's what is this? I'm vomiting inside my mouth a little. What is happening right now? I'll never forget. I went to the cinema to watch the one where Edward and Bella, they get married finally. And I was in the cinema, and my boyfriend was sitting here so mad because he was like, this is not how I thought this series, because obviously the last 2 films there was more epic battles and fight scenes between vampires, and so he could deal with the romance because of that element. But then we came to the wedding one, and the scene where Edward goes to Bella, forever will never be enough. My ex literally just got in his seat and was like, oh, God. I just remember him muttering to himself, make it stop. But then around the cinema, you heard a collective female sigh of, I was like, oh, what is happening? Oh, make this stop. We were both laughing our heads off because every time that skinny, pale vampire came on the screen, all the women in the cinema was like, hey, Robert Pattinson, hey. Look. Dude looks like he needs a suntan and some chicken. What are you losing your mind over? Looks like he's playing the undead, but he really does look undead.
Yes.
This does it for you? Yeah? Emaciated, pale, skinny? Yeah? Alright, cool. I didn't get that film,
Oh, I didn't either.
Not at all.
I
don't think that was made for people like me and you, clearly.
No, I think they made it for teens.
Well, it's for the new generation of teens, because my generation of teens wouldn't have watched that bullshit. I'm sorry. I was in my teens in the 90s, and there's no way that film would have made it as big as it did now if they tried to air that in the 90s. Are you crazy?
Oh, no, it wouldn't have.
Come on now. Back in the 90s, you had people like the heartthrobs like Will Smith, or you had big actors like Sly Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Nicolas Cage. Could you imagine a Nicolas Cage in this movie? Really?
Ooh.
Who would play those characters, then? Who would be Edward and Jacob? Who would play those 2 characters, the werewolf and the vampire, in the 90s?
No, none of those actors.
Exactly. Come on.
None.
And it would probably involve a lot more blow-em-up fight scenes and a lot more violence and swearing, to be honest. It'd be a completely different version of that movie. That's what it would be if it was in the 90s. There would be no forever is enough. It'd be more kind of Terminator, come with me if you want to live.
Yeah.
It'd be more of that, more likely. To be honest, if it was the 90s. But it's funny, though, to watch the evolution of movies, right, and it change.
Mm-hmm.
To reflect the times, you know what I mean? Do you ever watch some of the older movies that were in the 80s and 90s and ever cringe and go, oh, wow. I watched 48 Hours, the Eddie Murphy movie, 48 Hours.
Yeah.
Well, I've never watched that. So I think about a few months ago, I decided to finally watch it. Dude, I made it about 40 minutes into that movie before I switched it off. Because there was so much politically incorrect, the level of racism and like, and just the lines they were spitting out, and the acting was so much, you know, because apparently in a cop movie you had to shout at everybody. Everyone had to be angry and shouty in the 80s cop movies. I couldn't take it, Reggie. I couldn't. I was like, Jesus Christ. And oh, they really said that line. Okay, to that black person or to that, you know, black person of color. Okay, we just out here, we're just throwing around racism. Okay, cool. Like, it was okay to say that stuff in movies. Like, do you ever find that you watch back on certain things and go, yeah, no, that couldn't happen now?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. What's the last one I tried to watch? I think it was, I watched a Richard Pryor one.
Oh yeah, who knows? He can. Richard Pryor can make none of his movies now.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
No, there'd be riots and protests and blacklisting. He'd be blacklisted from the whole of the industry.
Yes, he couldn't do his movies now.
Yeah.
I mean, but some of the movies were good. But yeah, when you talk about like the political climate we have now, a lot of the movies made back then. They couldn't play now. I mean, you got movies like Predator, even Rambo, people are saying was too masculine. So those movies couldn't be made. Like even the last Rambo movie he made, they wanted that canceled. They wanted it took out of the theaters.
Yeah, we are. Well, this is the thing now. It's like I feel like we've gone one end of the extreme to the other, right? We've gone from being completely politically incorrect and just spewing out racism and random kind of like, you know, stuff. And now we've gone so far the other end that we're overly sensitive. It's like we need to try to find the balance. You know, people take things a little bit too seriously, take it a bit too personally, and it's like it's not real, people. But at the same time, I guess I understand that we have to respect everybody. But it's we've gone so far within every extreme now, where everybody's getting picked on for every little thing that you say and do.
Yeah, it's like because we may not get another Expendables because people.
Oh no, hell no.
Yeah, they said that was too masculine. When you think of the first Predator, which is the best one, because all of them after that were garbage. Yeah. You know, like the first Predator movie, they'll never make another movie like that again. It's just. So now everything has to be more soft, you know, just.
Yeah, I mean, we're either a lot more softer or we're relying on special effects because apparently that's enough to give a film content. You know, like the amount of times I've seen movies where they're just relying on CGI special effects and loads of blow 'em up scenes and there's no actual story. It's like, what the hell am I witnessing? What was the story? All I saw was loads of explosions and like CGI effects. That's like the other thing I've noticed. Well, oh, okay, first of all, calm down. Matrix is a good film. Don't let me hurt you. I will get on a plane and find you. The first Matrix was revolutionary for its time.
Yeah, the first one.
Come on. Like the other two, yeah, okay, it didn't finish so strong, but I'm talking more things like, and this is hard for me because I do actually like it, like the Transformer movies.
Okay, I like those.
No, right, me too. So the very first one blew my mind because honestly, when I heard they were going to make it, I thought, oh, how are they going to show the robots transforming? Like, really? How's it going to look? And I remember the first time I saw it with my ex, we watched it and we were blown away. We're like, wow! And we were in our little kids, you know, we were channeling our inner child and we were blown away. But like, they've made like 4 or 5 movies since then. And it's like, you need to stop now. Yeah, because we seem to apparently not want to do any original ideas and everything's a sequel. How can we turn this into a franchise? Everything needs to be sequels or franchise. And it's like, Jesus, like how many Fast and Furious movies are there, Reggie? We're on like, what, 100 right now, aren't we? Like Fast and Furious 100 or some shit? How many ways can you explode and blow up a car? or rob a place with a car? Like, I don't understand how many times you need to keep showing the same film.
And they got a contract to do 18 of those movies.
No, don't be silly. No, you're being silly.
No, dead serious. 18 is how many Fast and Furious movies they're supposed to come out with.
Don't be silly.
And I think they're at what, number ridiculous. 9 now?
9, yeah. I mean, I'm impressed they've made it to 9. Don't forget the spin-off of Hobbs and Shaw.
Yep.
The Rock. Yeah, so I don't know if that counts. And that's probably what they'll do. They'll probably do a couple of spin-offs. Do you know what I mean? Like they did with Hobbs and Shaw to fulfill the rest of to get to 18. But honestly, how many ways can you explode a car, drive it, or rob something? Like, we get it. You guys are really good behind the wheel of a car. We get it. And you're all badasses. It's great. Anything else? No? Still more blowing up the cars. Okay, cool. Like, I watched one of them, I think it's number 8, where it was literally just car explosions after car explosions. That was it. There was no plot.
Yeah.
So bored by the end of it. I remember turning to my friend going, I wonder which other way they're going to blow a car up. Like, I'm so bored right now.
Yeah, and now they run out of storylines to where they're just like, okay, we don't have a story. Let's just make a car, hang from a rope, and fly from one building to the next building.
Yeah. Like I miss the age of good stories. Like films in the 90s and 80s had good plots.
Yeah.
You know, that you had to figure out. The Usual Suspect, The Godfellas, Godfathers. Do you know what I mean? Like they had plots in movies. You know, Seven. What's another one? Bone Collector with like, you know, Denzel and Angelina Jolie. Like they had plots.
Oh yeah, Seven was good.
Seven was a good movie, man. It creeped me the hell out, but it was a
That was a
great
good movie.
movie, right? Like there was plots in movies that you had to figure out stuff and get to know characters. You know, A Time to Kill. God, there's just the list of like movies where they had a bit more substance and required a bit more acting.
Which I want to mention, Sidney Poitier was in that movie. Everybody,
What,
one
in
of
Seven?
the greatest actors.
In which film?
A Time to Kill.
Oh yes, is he in that one? Time to Kill. Hold on, am I thinking about the same movie? Time to Kill. The one with Matthew McConaughey and Samuel Jackson.
Oh, he's in the original one.
Right. Okay. I didn't realize that was a remake. See, live and learn something new. Live and learn something new. I did not know that was a remake. But yeah, I was talking about the 1996 version with Sandra Bullock and Matthew McConaughey. But, you know, like acting, you needed to be able to act. Like Nicolas Cage and Con Air. I love Con Air.
Oh, that's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
That's a good movie.
Right? It's a classic 90s movie. Nicolas Cage and, what's his name? He played James Bond. Oh, God, I have to Google it now. The one with like there was always like some sort of, hold on, Nicolas Cage movies. Gonna have to Google it while I'm talking to you. The Rock. Is it The Rock? Where The Rock. Have you seen that one with Nicolas Cage?
Yes.
That's got, who is in that film? Why can't I find anybody who is in this film? Old school actor. My mind's blank today. Sorry, guys. They're like, you guys are just out here talking about movies and, you know, you're not even saying who's in it. Are you guys awake today? And that's a Michael Bay classic.
And I like Michael Bay. He sort of hit and miss sometimes, though.
Yeah, he is. Like, when he does an action movie well, he does it well.
He does.
When he gets it right. When he doesn't, that's it. Sean Connery. That's who's in it. Sean Connery, Nicolas Cage,
Oh, I
Ed
forgot
Harris.
about him. Yeah.
Awesome film. He's done a lot of films. Like Nicolas Cage was massive in the 90s. I remember he was in like every other film. It was ridiculous.
See, I don't know why he had some good movies back then. It was like Braveheart.
Braveheart. Can I take our freedom? Who doesn't love Braveheart? Films had substance and they were classics. Even The Green Mile. Green Mile's a great movie as well. Sad as hell film, but it's a great movie.
It really was.
You know, the classic Tom Hanks film, Forrest Gump. Like, those are films that you just keep rewatching and rewatching over and over. Even like the old action movies, like the Indiana Jones series. I love Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah, those were good.
Good classic kind of family action movies, do you know what I mean? But now everything's about explosions and like CGI and special effects, and sometimes that really works. For instance, like in Transformers, or have you seen that Steven Spielberg movie Ready Player One?
Yeah.
Wicked. It worked in that film, right? It was great, and it had a great storyline. But Steven Spielberg is a great director, though. He's good at telling stories.
Oh, he tells some of the best stories.
Yeah, he can tell a good story.
See, those movies I can watch anytime. Like The Devil's
Yeah.
Advocate and...
Oh my God, The Devil's Advocate! Oh, that is such an awesome film. Al Pacino, though. Al Pacino.
Oh, I love to see him in movies.
Do you know, it kind of reminds me of that thing that I sent you the other day where it said, like, you have to pick 3 actors.
Yes.
And who did you pick again? It was Denzel.
Denzel, Sidney Poitier, and was it Viola Davis?
Yeah. No, you remember when I sent you the picture via WhatsApp? and it was like a list of like it was only male actors, pictures of them, and I was like, you have to pick 3 from this list.
Oh, yeah, it was Denzel.
Yeah.
Who are the other one?
I'm trying to think now. I know mine was Denzel, Leo DiCaprio, and Al Pacino. Those were my 3.
I know I picked
Because
Denzel.
they're just awesome. Yeah, if you don't pick Denzel, you need to just leave the room, quite frankly. You shouldn't even be considered. You shouldn't be allowed in the conversation. Who wouldn't pick Denzel?
Yeah, because he it's very the only.
Okay, I've got it. You said Tom Hanks, Denzel, and Al Pacino. That's who you
Okay.
picked.
There we go. That was racking my brain too. I was like, no, I know I said somebody.
Yeah, and those are good actors. Tom Hanks is another classic actor. He's been in some great movies.
Oh yeah, because him and Denzel did the Philadelphia. Was it Philadelphia?
The
Experiment?
Philadelphia, which I only did just called Philadelphia. I just watched that maybe a few months ago. Finally, it's a great movie.
Yeah,
Great movie.
I would love to see them do a movie together again.
Yeah, I would as well. I have to say though, like Denzel's acting like record, like his film record, mate, it's ridiculous. Like he's got classic movie after classic movie. I think the only movie of his that I don't like, and I told you this before, is The Book of Eli. I did not get that film whatsoever. That was like, the hell is this shit? I was so confused because you go to a Denzel movie and just know I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna like him. I'm gonna enjoy this film. And then I watched it and I was like, what is happening right now, Denzel? This is a really bad movie. It was really hard for me to watch that. I was like, what's happening? But he has to have some sort of blip on his record. You know, he's only human.
Yeah, I think for me it was Lady Sings the Blues. I just did not like that movie. Not Lady Sings the Blues. The Devil in a Blue Dress. Yeah, I did not like that movie.
I liked it, but I've only watched it once. But it wasn't like, it's not on the top of my list of Denzel movies. I can't lie to you. It's not. Like my favorite Denzel movies like Man on Fire, Equalizer.
Yeah.
Inside Man, American Gangster. To be honest, the list is endless. Safe House, Out Time, Deja Vu, John Q. I'm just looking at his list of movies now on Google. I'm like, yep, love that movie, like that movie, like that movie, like them. Like, really, let's be real. How many actors can you go, yep, like that to all his movies?
Yeah, most of them is like, that one, then you kind of skip a few years.
Right, that's what I mean, right? Like, the 1995 was not good to you. I'm going to skip that year. Do you know what I mean? Like, he has got tons of movies where I go, killer film, killer, great.
See, Denzel, jeez. He does make some good movies.
Yeah, I mean, I will always love movies, even though the industry has changed and we're now all about the bloody sequels and the franchises and the sequels after sequels and then the prequels. That's another thing we've started doing, prequels, the story before the sequel. It's like, Jesus Christ, guys, think of an original story, please, come on. But I still love movies. Movies makes me smile as much as music does. Let's talk about the music.
That is true, and I think both music and movies have the same problem right now. It's really lacking originality.
Yeah.
You know,
and quick music, innit? Quick fix.
Yeah, it's a quick fix, and when we look at music now, like I listen to now. What genres of music do you listen to?
Predominantly, I would say R&B. Whether that's like the sort of 80s, 70s old soul and R&B of Luther Vandross, Anita Baker era, or the 90s R&B. I also love like jazz, neo soul. The current millennial equivalent to that is like alternative R&B. So artists like LMA, Sabrina Claudio, Her, Kalani, those sort of artists would be the equivalent now that I listen to now. Snow Allegra. Division, Alex Isley. I listen to those now. Those are the current people I listen to. I love a good instrumental as well, though. Movie instrumentals, like some classic. Yeah. What about you?
I listen to everything. I listen to country. I listen to R&B. Same thing. Neo soul, pop, alternative. I listen to classical music. I like the soundtrack. Like the soundtracks for movies. That's instrumental. I love those.
Yes, me too.
So
Hans Zimmer is the man. Want to see him in concert?
He is. I mean, it's like everybody who's doing a movie, especially if you're doing like a superhero or action movie, he's the go-to guy.
He's the guy for that. He can make some really, compelling music that will have you gassed in a scene. It's like, oh my God, I really feel it because that soundtrack is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Quincy Jones used to be, but wow, he fell off. I don't know if it's just because of age or...
I don't know, but he was brilliant though. I do remember some of his stuff.
Yeah.
I love, music. I feel like the age of Insta, like this is the Insta age where everyone wants everything now. They don't want to wait for things. They don't have patience. Everyone's attention span is like that of a goldfish. So I've noticed that it's like everyone's churning out music. Singles are coming out like it's a single factory, and the level of substance sometimes in certain songs is not there anymore. It's like, where's the thought behind the lyrics? Where's the feeling? What's the meaning behind the song? It's just instant samey soundtracks. Like some of the tracks blend in together, literally.
Yeah. And that's why I think I find it difficult sometimes to listen to music, because I feel like I'm hearing the same thing. I like the fact that music from the 80s and 90s, the early 80s, early 90s and all throughout the 80s, every artist wanted to have their own identity. They wanted to, when you heard their track from the first note, you wanted to know this is who this is.
Yeah, fully.
But now it's just kind of like, oh, Beyonce did this? Oh, well, we're going to do it too. We'll just modify the tempo and adjust the beats a little bit. Everybody's using the same type of formula to create songs, and there's nothing unique. It's like you don't get a different sound, a different vibe from it.
Yeah, not at all. I agree. I just want to be clear as well. It's not to say there aren't some really outstanding artists now who are making great music, but the ones that are on the sort of commercial generic chain, like certain rap music, panda, it's all very repetitive, and it's like, okay, like, songs back in the day, now you can name a song and instantly the crowd will sing along because they know, because it's a classic song, whether it's Luther Vandross's Never Too Much, do you know what I mean? Like, you play the opening bars to that song worldwide, everyone knows what's about to go down and everyone is singing along. You play the opening bars to a Prince song or an MJ song, a Whitney song, everybody would sing along. Nowadays, you play a song, I don't know which rapper you're playing because they all sound the same. Right? Like, I don't know which is it, Migos or, 69 or whatever their names are. Do you know what I mean? I can't differentiate between some of these artists. They look the same and they sound the same.
Yeah, and the thing I kind of hate is, like, right now, rap, people debate whether you want to call it rap or hip-hop. But it's like, it's transformed into what they call this mumble rap. And that's pretty much what the Migos are. It's like this mumble rap that you can't really understand. And it is just like, I listen to them, and I really do try to give some of the newer artists a chance. I prefer the indie artists over a lot of the mainstream artists. Yeah. Because I think about it now, like 10 years from now, is there any singer out right now that I honestly say I'm going to want to hear 10 years from now or listen to? I'm not going to be singing Cardi B songs.
No. And 10 years from now, are you going to remember any of those songs?
No.
You're not. Like I said, like if someone plays a Luther Vandross song, and how old is that Never Too Much song? It's like, what, 30 years old, 40 years old? Like, it's a classic. I'm sorry, no one's going to remember Cardi B's WAP 20 years from now. We're not. And the thing is, it's hot, and tracks are hot for the moment. Because every minute everyone's doing a new challenge on Instagram. Right now it's the Bus It challenge, and it's like, they're dancing to whatever the random song is now, but it's forgettable. And it's like, they're not making music for substance. Like, I can't remember the last time I downloaded an album and listened to a whole album and enjoyed it. Like, back in the day, you waited for an album to get released. It was a big deal when your favorite artist released their album, and you loved it because they took time to create a body of work that gave you value for your money. Now, it's kind of like, you listen to an album, there might be 1 or 2 tracks, if you're lucky.
Yeah, and you're right.
If you're lucky.
Because when I was in the grocery store the other day, they played BBD's Poison. Everybody was singing.
Of course. when that opening bar's dun, 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 everyone hears that, you just start busting the Running Man from the opening beat. Like, you'll drop what you're doing. I'm like, oh, yeah. Blatantly. Come on now.
And it's just, I don't know. I really try. I mean, and I try to think of like artists who, like, we got more entertainers than we do actual artists. A lot of people that's out now, they can't really sing.
No, we don't need to, Reggie. There's that special button called auto-tune. What do you mean? Who cares you can't sing? You look good. It's about how you look. How can we sell you? How can we package you as a brand? That's what's more important now. And so long as you've got like a catchy beat that's on trend to whatever the kids are dancing to, we can package and brand you up. Like, you don't need to sing. Don't worry about it. Don't even worry about the lyrics. Doesn't matter if they make no sense. Like, you listen to half these songs, in the lyrics even make any sense?
No, they really don't.
What am I saying? So long as you say something that's catchy and repetitive, it's all right. That's enough. That'll do.
Yeah, you got a hit album here.
Yeah, fully.
It's a hit.
Yeah, we're winning. But the good thing is, I would say, in this sea, and I hate to use the word mediocrity, when you do hear an artist that stands out, they stand out even more because of it. Do you know what I mean? So, for me, I love listening to her. She is so talented for someone so young. So talented. I love Sabrina Claudio. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, but there's an artist called Mac Ayres or Ayres. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right. Snow Allegra, Daniel Cesar. You know what I mean? Like Division, that Georgia Smith. There's a lot of artists. Neo. Like, there's a lot of artists that have come out and they're not doing the usual. And so when they do come out and not do the usual, they stand out all more because of it. Because right now it is just a sea of whatever, instant music.
Exactly. And it is all instant. It's like, and we kind of talked about that, you know, since music has now become more of a streaming thing. It's not CDs, it's not albums or tapes or 8 tracks, if you used to listen to 8 tracks.
Taking it back there.
You know?
Way back into time.
You know, it's like, because they don't have to put out an album and people have to buy a whole album now. I think that's why it's kind of like, if I make one good song, you upload it to Spotify and see how many people download it. Yeah. And they consider that a hit. It's like,
yeah.
You know, Tamar Braxton did a song and people were downloading the song and they were saying it's a hit song. I'm like, because it got downloads, it's a hit song. I mean, she's on a reality TV show.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard because, like I said, I don't want to brand everyone with the same brush in this current generation because there are some amazing artists out, but they're a lot more far and few between, and it feels like everyone's really just trying to brand themselves. They're more focused on the brand and living that Instagram social lifestyle than they are on the actual content and quality of the music that's being released. So when I do hear an artist that makes me go, oh, hey, what's this? Nowadays, I'm like, whoa, it's like a diamond in the rough. This is great. Because most of the time, I'm listening to stuff from my youth or my dad's era, if I'm honest. Like, anything so that I listen to a song that has lyrics that make me feel something, or a beautiful melody, or a great dance beat, something that makes me feel something, you know? Like, people like Sam Smith or Adele, they're like rare gems nowadays, and that's crazy to say that.
They are. I mean, because I wonder if people actually, when they hear a song, do they actually go and Google the lyrics to see how many verses in that song are actually different?
No, I think you're getting too technical now. I really don't think this current generation give two shits about that, Reggie. They don't care about the content. It just sounds good. That's enough.
That's it. You get a nice little beat behind it with a heavy bass line.
On time. Repetitive bass line and repetitive lyrics as well. We're winning. And then you've made it in this generation if it then gets used as a background track to do like a random Instagram challenge to, like a dancing challenge. That's when you know you've made it in this generation. When someone does a dance challenge to your song. Winning.
Oh my God.
Winning. Can you imagine doing random dance challenges like back in the day to like a Anita Baker song? Like, you couldn't do a Bust It song to, like, you couldn't do, like, the Bust It routine or whatever the challenge is that it is doing now to, like, Anita Baker's Sweet Love. No.
No.
It's not what you did.
No.
That would be disrespectful to the song. Like,
yes.
you wouldn't do that. But now it's like, you've made it because it's an Instagram challenge song. There we go.
See, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I just really wish, I don't think if the artists today, not like you said, we don't want to categorize all of them, but if you were to put them back in, say, the 80s and say, you now have to go to a record studio and see if you can get a record deal, I'll be willing to say that probably 90% of them would not get a record deal.
No, not at all. Like, you needed to be able to sing.
Yes.
Like, you know, like the 5 Heartbeats movie you're talking about. That generation, you had to sing. Yeah, you had to dance, and there was the look as well, but you needed to be able to sing. Because, people are ruthless. The crowds are ruthless. Like, they would have been like, "Boo, get off the stage."
Yeah.
Like, there's no way Migos or any of them people could go on the stage in the 70s and go, they'd be like, get that drunk boy off the stage. Like, he drunk. He's out here mumbling with his rapping self. Get him off the stage. Like, you couldn't. And we can't even blame it on the fact that they're high, because rappers in the 90s were high and they still made good music. So
yeah.
I know Tupac and Biggie were high. Nas was definitely high, you know? Like, all of them dudes were high. That's not an excuse. They still, they still release good albums. So the excuse that, oh, maybe they're too high, or maybe they're taking a different strength of stuff, I don't know, but...
Because another thing they're saying, too, and actually Toby Keith, I know everybody don't listen to country music, but Toby Keith is a country music singer, and he made the comment that he felt that country was actually starting to die out because hip-hop has become such a major influence on all genres of music. I do sort of agree with that. I do think that country music still has a place, but I don't like the fact that, well, hip-hop has moved into country. I don't like...
It has? Oh my God, really?
Oh my God.
A hip-hop country track, really?
Yes.
I mean, does it sound like Nelly stuff?
Oh my God.
Like country grammar? Like, a bit like that? No?
What's the saying? I play chicken with the train, and the train... That's an actual country song.
And that's got a hip-hop element to it?
Yes. Because they got country rap artists now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and it's like... I like... Here's why I like country music. Let's take George Strait has a song called I Cross My Heart. And it's about the lyrics. Because it's kind of like, I cross my heart and promise to give all I got to give to make all your dreams come true. In all the world, you'll never find a love as true as mine. And if you ever find a day, I can't remember the rest, but it's just, the lyrics are so deep and meaningful. And then for hip hop to sort of move into that, it is sort of like taken away, because this generation is sort of really into hip hop. And the same thing is starting to happen with R&B and soul.
Oh, yeah. R&B, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have the Luthers, the Gerald Leverts, the Whitney Houston sound. It's all being converted to a hip-hop sound now.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. It's become fashionable. Like, it's become this sort of one urban language that the youth of today speak. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter your color either, or your culture. Like, it's a language that all of the youth speak. And so it probably has bled out because it's become fashionable. It's become a new language. It's become a new sort of thing, instead of it being its own standalone genre. But I did not know it made its way, because I'll be honest, I don't listen to a single piece of country music. I didn't grow up with it. My parents didn't play it, and if I do hear it, it kind of makes me feel really sad and depressed when I listen to country music. I can't lie to you, because people's always talking about their love lost that's gone, or she did me wrong. So country music for me isn't the vibe, but that's crazy to think there's country rap. I don't know how that's going to go on. That makes me laugh. I'm sorry.
When you hear it, you're going to laugh. But don't worry.
Yeah, it makes me laugh. Yeah.
I'm going to flood Angelique's email with just country songs, y'all.
Please don't. I'm already in lockdown in London, which apparently has been extended to July. I don't need anything else that's going to depress me. Please. No, you know what you should do? You should send me the country rap. That will make me laugh and, bring me back up. In this lockdown life I'm living. Send me some country rap. That's what I want. I want some jokes. Give me some jokes.
Oh my God, it is the worst thing.
But don't we have like 2 artists that we're meant to be reviewing, right?
Yeah, so let's go ahead and get to those what time is it? Oh. When you're having fun.
Yeah, I know. I noticed the time I was like, we're going to wrap this up. The poor listeners are like, dude, seriously? You guys are still talking? It's not a podcast show anymore. This is just a conversation we're listening to.
Well, they keep listening, so they definitely love it.
They may stop after this. We may have pushed their buttons like, no, it's too long, guys. Check for too long. Jesus, wrap it up. So, yeah, let's do that podcast review. Let's do the episode review, the music review.
Okay, so we got 2 artists for you guys today that we're gonna review, and the first one is gonna be Josephine Okujini, and she is from Nigeria, but she's currently based in Los Angeles, California. She is an actress. You have seen her on movies like The Walking Dead. You've seen her in the movie Nietzi, which I haven't seen that one. She recently had a release called Waterfall, which is supposed to be a great example of her talent. She's trying to progress towards doing more inspirational lyrics tied into her, powerful roots and her strong cultural ties to her ancestral land, which is, of course, she's from Nigeria. So the song we are reviewing today is called, I just had it up here. It is called Mystic, Tribal Fusion. So, Angelique, what are your thoughts?
I really liked the beat. The beat was very hypnotic, quite it's quite trance-like. Gave me an imagery of like fire dancers and serpent, snake charmers and all of that vibe. I liked the imagery it created in my mind. However, for me personally, I feel like her vocals were kind of drowned out by the very loud and heavy kind of thumping beat. And I just kept wanting her voice to be a little bit more powerful because it was a very kind of sexy temptress type vibe. But her voice sounded just quite weak in comparison to the beat. I feel like the beat overpowered her voice too much. And I don't know if she did that purposefully and that was meant to be like that, but it wasn't for me. I'll be honest with you. Yeah. The vibe, the beat was quite cool, but it's not a song that I probably would listen to again, I'm afraid, personally myself. What about you, good sir?
Angelique is so mean, so hard.
I do give it straight. My nickname is Mac 10, so it's possibly released from the chamber. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I'm gonna have to co-sign with Angelique on this because.
Oh, who's me now?
I've listened to several of Josephine's songs, and this is definitely one of the songs where her vocals, she has amazing vocals, and I was really surprised that her vocals were so smothered by the track of this song. So you couldn't really hear her true vocals. If you listen to some of her music from her past album, you could really hear her showing her vocals more. This one, you didn't hear any vocal range from her. Yeah. Everything was sort of in like a monotone singing voice that just kind of loads you into like, okay, it's not something that kind of lifted you. It didn't something that really grabbed you. It's just something you was kind of like, if you was in the store and they was playing music in the elevator, it was there but not there.
Yes. So, yes, unfortunately, yeah.
I don't know. So, like I said, once again, I agree with Angelique. It's definitely a song that I don't think I'm going to remember. It's not a song that I'm going to really, want to hear later down the line. I definitely prefer her songs from last year over this new release. Like I said, this is the single. So
it's a shame though, because you said that she's got good vocals, and I'll be honest, I didn't get that from this song. So for me, for someone who's never heard her stuff before, I'm thinking that her voice isn't that strong, but you're saying that she has better vocals. So this song definitely doesn't highlight that. In fact, like you said, it smothers it, I feel personally myself.
Yeah, she really does have great vocals. I mean, the song I reviewed for her last year, I was really impressed. I was like, wow, the video was great. Her vocals were great. I mean, I was really happy. I was like, okay, she's going to do something. So I was excited when she was coming out with this new release. But, I'm hoping the rest of her album is not in the same formula that she's using for this single that she just put out. But unfortunately, guys, I'm going to have to pass on this one.
Yeah, it's a pass for me too. Sorry, Josephine, my love, because I love to support and celebrate my fellow black sister, especially from Nigeria. Yes, please, but not this song.
So yeah, we still love you, Josephine. We still
We
love
do.
you.
Top, yeah.
So the next artist we're going to review is Mr. Revelation.
No, Revelation. He's from Jamaica, so you must say Revelation.
Revelation.
Revelation for the nation. That's what it's to say.
Now, Revelation was Brooklyn born, and he is deeply rooted into his Jamaican culture. His parents are originally from Jamaica, so he really is talented. He's a very talented guy. He began his musical journey at the age of 8, and by 9 years old, he was playing the keyboard at his church that his family attended. Revelation's mother was a praise and worship leader. It was seeing his mother perform in church so soulfully and seeing his father, Natty Rima, a.k.a. Captain Remo, perform through music at the age of 15. He met his cousin Clifton, and they created a bond that would grow to be unbreakable. And they have actually went on to create multiple songs. This one's kind of tough because me and Revelation have actually written 2 songs together. So, you know.
Be careful what you say. You're in the firing line.
Yeah. And we both are big fans of Garnett Silk, who is a big reggae artist. So the song he has just released. Yeah. His song is called Let's Pretend. And you know, last year he put out a song called Traveling. But this song is called Let's Pretend.
Let's pretend. Right, so the beat, it was a nice beat. It made you jig up your shoulders. You know, I liked his vocals. He's got a really nice voice. Yeah. I feel bad. I just feel like I'm just out here just peeing on people's parade here. But it wasn't for me. It felt a bit run-of-the-mill reggae song. Like, okay, have a good beat, check. You know, sing about trials and tribulations of the nation, check. You know, it didn't stand out for me. It's not a song I'm going to remember, honestly. As much as I really enjoy his vocals and the beat was nice, it was just nice, to be honest, for me. It was just okay.
Yeah. Now, being Revelation of fam, so he know I'm going to keep it 100. This is another case to where I don't think the artist really used the true potential of their voice. And like I said, for those of you who have not heard his song Traveling, go and listen to his song Traveling and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. He really is a talented singer. He's a talented music composer. I think in this one, you know, all of his music is positive. He does not make any song that is going to have you down. Everything is uplifting, is positive. But in this one, Angelique kind of mentioned it. I think the track is a little bit been there, done that.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't really, like you say, you're going to bob your shoulders a little bit to it, but it's definitely not his best. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, we're not trashing his work, you know, but
No.
You know, just knowing the talent that's in him, this song, it's a nice song. It's a good song to play in the background. Like you're just kind of chilling. You got a group of people over, but it's not a song that's gonna make you stop. It's not a song that's gonna make you really pay attention or Google or go look up. You know, it's going to be one of those songs where you're kind of like, oh, you know, that's nice.
Yeah.
And that's
exactly.
it.
And that's what I mean. It's just nice. And that's how I felt about both songs. Like, oh, it's nice. And getting on with my day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, when you hear a song that hits you, you will play that bad boy and repeat until you've drilled it into your brain. Like, when a song really grips you, nothing is like stopping you from listening to it over and over again and then telling your friends about it and playing it in your radio in your car. But these two, unfortunately for me, were just nice, and they will just kind of stay there for me.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree. I just, you know, music is tough because, you know, something Angelique said earlier, it's a universal language. Everybody kind of hears and sees things differently. But these are two great artists, and I think they gave some good music, but I don't think it was their best. I think, definitely we could have got more vocally from both of them. So that's it, guys.
You win some, you lose some. There's no such thing as perfection. Do you know what I mean? And also, like art, movies, music, all that stuff is subjective, isn't it? To the person. What's another one's, you know what I mean? What's another one's diamond is another one's treasure, trash. Do you know what I mean? So, like it's like someone else might listen to these songs and love them, but yeah, just speaking from my own personal opinion, they were good. They were nice, but that was just it for me.
Yeah, because the only thing perfect is me, so,
Yeah, okay, silence. Can we all give him a moment of silence? Do it with me, listeners. Do it so he can take that time to collect his senses, Get your shit together, Reggie. This is not a platform for crazy, okay?
Oh, my God.
Because we all know the only thing that's perfect is me, okay? All right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a couple of them are raising their head up at that one. Yeah, because, and guys, I know I haven't done a lot of music reviews, music shows lately, and I'll be honest with you, and I told this to Angelique, just please understand that when you're doing these, it is really difficult sometimes to get what you need from some of these artists. These two artists are really great about communicating, but trying to get the information and get the tracks, and then some people say, well, can you play the track during the show? Well, that gets into a whole nother thing, because keep in mind that although an artist may make a song, they oftentimes don't own the full rights. So that's like, because I had that same thing. You guys remember when I did Sauté? That was a great review. You guys loved it. But it was the same thing where her music was not hers. It was done through her management, which the record company had to approve. So it was this long line of stuff. But anyway, so yes, I will see about doing more of these. We see if we get Angelique back to do more. There are other people who have requested.
That's a no from me, pass. Thanks.
Yeah, it's tough to actually critique somebody else's work. Because was it YP Passion has asked for a review, so we'll see. But I'm not promising anything on these music reviews, guys. So just keep that in mind. It's one of the most popular shows we do, but I'm on the fence with that. So, but anyway,
it's fun.
It's been fun.
Like music and movies, but it's one of the ones where you can talk about it forever. So we don't want to, make the poor listeners' ears bleed from how long we've been talking. Waxing lyrical.
So thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you guys always staying with us. Angelique is always wonderful. We always enjoy her company. As always, she's always welcome back anytime. I try to get her to come on, guys, but she never wants to come. I have to pull teeth. So.
They're lies. I'm the one that was like, "Can I be on the show?" He's like, "All right. Suppose if you want to, I guess I'll have to have you on the show. God damn it." No, it's a pleasure, guys. Thank you so much for allowing me to just natter away of my endless thoughts that no one's asked to hear. But I'll give them anyway.
See, so one more thing, real quick. Can you please explain bish, bosh, bash, bash? Can you please explain that real quick?
Bish, bash, bosh, mate. Bish, bash, bosh.
Yes.
First of all, you got to say it right, Reggie. Say it with me. Bish.
Bish.
Bash.
Bash.
Bosh.
Bosh. Oh, bish, bash, bosh.
Yes.
Okay. For those of you who are debating that, yes, tell them so I don't have to hear it anymore.
It's just saying bish, bash, bosh, mate. Like, yeah, that's it. Kind of like it's all wrapped up. Simple. It's another way of saying bish, bash, bosh. What would be the equivalent in regular speak? I'm just trying to find it. Because when you say a slang and everyone gets it, like to have to break it down, I'm like, I don't know. You should know what it means. Bish, bash, bosh is kind of like, yeah, I went over to that house, painted the ceiling and the walls. Bish, bash, bosh, mate. Job done. You'd say it like that.
Okay.
Like so, easy peasy.
There you go.
Bish, bash, bosh. It'd be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. It'd be that kind of equivalent sort of thing. Easy peasy, nothing. It's easy, light work. Yeah, okay. The urban equivalent is light work. It's nothing.
Okay, you guys have gotten your answer now, so stop DMing
people have been
me.
Asking.
Oh my God. I have been called that so many times about the intros not coming out fast enough.
Oh.
And when we do a show together, because the shows are longer, I don't put an intro on. So I've been told that I'm bish bosh bash about it.
Bosh.
Yeah. So
no, that's not what it means, guys. No, like if bish bash bosh means, yeah, easy peasy, nothing, lemon squeezy, light work. Yeah.
Yes. So I counted 75 times you guys have actually told me or called me that. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
they called you bish bash bosh.
Yes, about the intros, because I don't put the, it's like they're not coming out fast enough, or I should do the intros to where they don't have to wait a week to find out what's happening next. So.
I mean, could it be used in that context?
Tell them no.
I mean, I guess not. Well, yes and no, in the sense of like, yeah, if you're saying someone's done a slapdash job, as in like they rushed it, bish bash bosh, they did it, it was over. Maybe, but you don't call someone bish bash bosh though. It's like, no, that's not. Something is bish bash bosh. Like something you're trying to do is bish bash bosh. Simple. Don't think about it. No brainer. Easy. That's what it means.
Okay, you guys have gotten the answer, so use it correctly, okay? When you come in my DM from now on.
It's not meant to be a slur, guys. It's not meant to be a slur.
Thank you.
It's not meant to be a cuss.
All right, guys. We will catch you guys next Friday. Don't forget the new show comes out. So look forward to joining you all again. So come on back for more conversation and more talk. And we also want to thank Angelique and welcome her back anytime.
Thank you, guys. Have a great week.
And don't be so bish bosh bash, everybody.
Bish bash bosh. If you're going to say it properly, Reggie, or don't say it at all. You're offending my British sense.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Simply Straight Talk podcast. Make sure you visit our website at rmviagem.com, where you can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Libsyn, SoundCloud, or Spotify, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes, or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that will help us out too. Thank you, and see you next week.